Can't believe it. Why is it so hard to get married today? I mean, and just to start off at the very beginning with that, I just want to ask really quick to the ladies, who here even cares about getting married? Because we'll kind of change the subject up a little bit depending on that person. If you're not even wanting it, do you even want to get married today?
I am open to the possibility of getting married at this point, but it's not something that is like required for my life. I don't think if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, but it's like, yes, I want it, but if it doesn't happen, I don't care.
Yeah, it has to be the right circumstances. Like,
obviously, you don't want to. You're not going to
100%.
marry some loser or something like that.
Right.
Just because it's like, oh my god, I need the ring.
Right,
I'm gonna
exactly.
take the 5'6" dude. That's a loser. What about you though? Do you even want to get married?
I do. I want to get married. I mean, I'm not in a rush for it, but I definitely see like a happy family and kids is
Yeah.
what I ideally want.
You have like a vision of what your future should be, and that's what you want it to be.
Mhm.
Okay. What about you? What do you even want marriage?
I want marriage, traditionally, of course. But when it comes to government or in the church, I would definitely do it in the church more than the government.
You'd rather like keep it away from the government because it's like
private.
But like, why though? Like, is there a specific reason why? Did you see something in your past? Like, was there something that happened, or did you learn that from like a guy that told you, that they wanted that? Like, what was the reason why you even have that point of view?
I think that this is very deep. I just don't want like.
You want the government in your business?
Yeah.
Is it that simple?
I feel like a marriage works more when it's traditionally and religiously, or when it's like just in a home. Whereas if you put it down on paper, it's a lot more harder to move around your life.
Yeah, because you're bringing somebody else into your like, because back in the day, like if you got married to the church, you're bringing the pastor into your relationship. Like they're basically going to be like your counselor kind of. But like if you bring the government into your relationship, you're basically bringing the judge in as y'all's counselor. And like whenever y'all break up or whatever, you basically have a judge from the government, from the state, that's saying this is what he needs to do, and this is what, instead of like a pastor that's actually looking out for the both parties, equally. But yeah, I definitely see like why you have that. I've just never heard that really on my panel before, so that's why I wanted to peel the layer back and ask why you even thought that way.
Can I mention that you said when you break up? That's part of why it's hard to find marriage, because people go into it expecting it to end at some point.
Well, see, some people marry just for the title.
Right. And that's not, I mean, if that's what you want, that's what you want. But I mean, like when he referenced it, he said when you guys break up at some point. It was no like if you should happen to break up, or if something should happen and it doesn't work out. Yeah. It's when we break up. But when you're getting married to somebody, you're literally choosing them.
You should never like there should be no negative connotation of ever leaving, right?
Exactly. Like you should be choosing that person for life. That's what you're doing.
See, so like I really like that y'all brought that up. No, good, but we'll go back to that in just a second. But yeah, what do you think? Do you want to get married?
I'm not against it.
You're not against it. So if the right guy came along, like, you would do it.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, but you're saying, like people aren't like talking correctly, like they're going into relationships being negative, starting it off with the mentality of it already probably going to end. I want to know, do y'all think that who's causing more of that? Like who has more of that negative mentality that's like making it to where we don't think it's going to last, the men or the women, you think?
I think that it's become kind of equal, but it was because initially men started doing the whole she's going to take half if she leaves thing. And it created like a whole negative connotation over even having a wife. Like a wife is now
because now she's going to finesse you or something.
Burden. Yeah. They view a wife more as a burden than like a blessing these days.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of interesting to see, like especially online and stuff like that. I know a lot of it's
fake.
Yeah.
But it's cool seeing it that way.
Yeah.
What do you think?
A comment on that as well, though, because sometimes it is in the circumstance of the guy being like, oh, I don't want it to be 50-50, but what about if the female's doing super good too, like, and she's and you're gonna, if anything, it could be vice versa. What about if the woman's making like much more money?
I have seen a couple women, which 50%. City boys up, where where like they got divorced recently and the guy ended up getting alimony and stuff, and it's like, I can't believe it, it happened, but like, it doesn't happen that often though. You're right.
No, for sure.
It's just super, yeah, dude. It's just super rare though. But when it does happen, it's like, yeah, we got our lick back. You know what I'm saying? I'm like riding for those dudes when they fucking get it. Wait, what was I asking though? I had asked you, what like who is it more, the men or the women though? Who do you think is like making it or has that negative connotation the most to like not like want to be in it or they're like thinking it's gonna end? Who do you think it is more?
Well, in that point of view, I would say a man, just because since ideally a man should be making more than a female, and so cases. So I mean, if anything, they would
You think the
probably be the
guy?
first.
Yeah. Who do you think is more likely to have that negative connotation towards marriage?
I wouldn't. It's
You
like
speak in general, not about yourself. You know, just what you see.
It's a 50-50 for me. Because let's say a man can be ready, whereas a woman is not ready. A woman can be ready, but a man is not ready.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and woman's usually ready earlier, right?
Yes.
I would say most women are probably ready for marriage earlier than I think that. I mean, unless she's super brainwashed and wants to own a business or something by 30, you know. But who do you think has most of the negative connotations towards marriage?
Just like from my peer circle, probably women.
Really?
Yeah, everybody I know is like a go-getter, and I don't.
It just depends how much they're in that lifestyle of wanting to be the go-getter and wanting to have their own stuff, probably.
And not
but she's like 20 to 25 and she's in that phase of I'm trying to find a husband, like I'm trying to find like a man, then she's gonna have a whole different mentality. It just really depends like which mentality, right? Which I think that's like a privilege. Like most women have to get into the workforce and have to start focusing on taking care of themselves, unless like your parents are taking care of you or something like that. Like you have to be like in a privileged state to kind of get locked in like that early on. I feel like it's a privilege.
I think with that though, it comes with disadvantages also, because then let's say you do get married at an age, right? Whereas let's say you get married early, right? Now when it comes to like, you only know what you grew up around. You only know what you grew up around, or what your husband teaches you. You can't really like teach yourself. You know what I mean?
You think that she needs to learn more like through other experiences for her to be a better wife, kind of like with age? I'm gonna go back to that in just a second. I want to bring up like the negative connotation thing. Like remember that for just a second because I want to make sure I don't forget that. But I want to bring up the negative connotation thing really quick. I would say, ladies, and a lot of people on the internet are probably gonna hate me for saying this, honestly, but I'm just being honest. The guys definitely have a bigger negative connotation, and the reason why though is because, like y'all were saying, like we're scared of losing a lot of our money, and y'all gotta understand in our like we have two different dating strategies. We have two different short-term strategies, and we have two different long-term strategies. Y'all's long-term strategy is get as many resources as you can. So then, like, he's a good person to have a child with, and he's not going to run off and give resources elsewhere. So sometimes women resource extract very hard. I want to go on 10 dates before I have sex with the guy. That's resource extraction for as much as you can. Because if he goes on 10 dates and never fucks you, that's a guy that's really down for you. He might actually really be in fucking love with you if he's willing to take you on 10 dates without ever getting no pussy. He's probably a big simp though. That's why I'm saying we have two opposite dating strategies. The guy who like my long-term strategy is not the same. I'm not sitting there thinking about getting married because as soon as I get married and I give the ring up, I lose leverage. What if I have all the leverage in the relationship and I'm able to do whatever I want? I'm able to like have a lot of power and influence and like have a lot of control. A guy loses all of it when you give the ring because then she has the power to leave you. She has the power to divorce you and take half your shit. She has the power to take the kids away from you if you have kids or something like that. So a guy who has leverage and he loves having leverage, he's never going to give a fucking ring.
Hey y'all, Sergio here. I just want to mention I've created a completely free guide that shows you exactly how I went from having low confidence and being painfully awkward around women to easily meeting and dating numerous high quality desirable women in real life without the use of any dating apps or social media. So if you're struggling to get out there, if you have approach anxiety or don't know what to say or how to interact with women to make them want you and are sick of using dating apps with low value girls that hundreds of other guys have been chatting with, click the link in the description below to grab your free guide right now. And if you want private mentorship with me personally to help guide you every step of the way in this process, check out my mentorship program in the description too. I would be happy to help you reach your dating goals and overcome any obstacle you may face. And trust me, if I can do it, you can do it too. I hope to see you soon. Peace out.